Newport News in Review with Aaron Pritchett starts right now.
Hello, I'm Aaron Pritchett, and welcome to this edition of Newport News in Review for the month of March 2012. Well, after a wild, wonderful winter that could never make its mind up, we gladly welcome in the official start of spring. A season where new life begins to show, warm breezes begin to blow, and yes, the return of those annoying allergies that thankfully come and go. But through it all, we are indeed grateful for another brand new season that allows us to get out and enjoy all that this great city has to offer during the light of day, and yes, even under the stars at night. Because there's one place in particular that continues to shine bright, thanks to the millions of people that come from near and far, who experience some of the biggest names in the world of arts and entertainment that gracefully take the stage inside the comfortable confines of this world-class facility, as we bring the show to you from the very impressive Ferguson Center for the Arts on the campus of Christopher Newport University. There are buildings, and then there are buildings that are complete works of art. Anyone driving along Warwick Boulevard and the Avenue of the Arts cannot help but notice that this very special place tends to stand out and definitely make a statement. Thanks to its sharp angles, awe-inspiring arches, sweeping curves, and glimmering glass, serving as a landmark to this community, this region, this state, and the millions of people from across the country and around the world that have experienced some of the biggest names in arts and entertainment. Thanks to the world-class venue that has become the Ferguson Center for the Arts on the campus of Christopher Newport University. But with all the success and accolades this center has garnered in such a short period of time, it's a place that almost never was, and a place that holds an important connection to our community's past, thanks to the memories it helped create for so many not so long ago. The year 1957. And in the city of Warwick, a new school opens at the corner of then Warwick Road and Shoe Lane, known as Warwick Junior High School, giving kids another educational level to experience before making their way onto the former Morrison High School, which had recently expanded and changed its name to Warwick High School. But by 1958, everything changed, as the city of Warwick consolidated with the city of Newport News. And in an effort to make this transition as smooth as possible, the newly formed city looked for the most efficient way to merge services and move forward. And that included reorganizing the school system. So in 1961, it was decided that renovations were in order for the former Warwick Junior High School and a new name, Ferguson High School, in honor of Homer L. Ferguson, considered a giant of American shipbuilding and long-term president of Newport News Shipbuilding. Indeed, a fitting name for this brand new high school in this newly enlarged independent city, as it provided student after student an enriching educational opportunity, lasting memories, and the chance to graduate, with the hopes of continuing on into higher learning. And of course, that goal wasn't too far away, because right next door was Christopher Newport College, an up-and-coming college that moved from downtown and right beside the high school in 1964. And over the next several decades, they both would flourish. But as time went on, talks began and interests were piqued in possibly closing the high school and allowing the college to take over. And after several discussions and votes by both the school board and city council, a contract was signed by Christopher Newport University and the city of Newport News in the spring of 1995 that would close Ferguson High School in June of 1996 and switch possession of the school and its surrounding 31 acres of property to the state for $10.2 million. And in doing so, history was made, and the future was set into motion to allow the university to move in and renovate. But reality soon set in, that renovations that were envisioned for this newly acquired building would be more trouble than it was worth. So although the university continued on with utilizing the space, they began to contemplate the demolition of this very important part of the community. But all that changed in the late 90s, as President Paul Tribble charted a new course for this property and former high school, announcing that Christopher Newport University would build a world-class performing arts center that would serve as a cultural beacon for this community. So in the early 2000s, construction began on a project that, thanks to the design work by world-renowned architect I.M. Pei, with the architectural firm of Pei, Cobb & Freed Partners, who also designed the U.S. Holocaust Museum in Washington, D.C., the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in Cleveland, Ohio, and the expansion of the Louvre in Paris. But as this stunning building began to emerge with its stunning colonnade, there was one very important thing missing: a name. So thanks to a long-standing supporter of the community and a substantial contribution from Ferguson Enterprises, the largest plumbing supply company and wholesaler in North America, headquartered right here in the city, this new facility would be known as the Ferguson Center for the Arts, a place that would indeed make its presence known in this community and this region for years to come. And as it opened up in stages, the $60 million Ferguson Center for the Arts was completely finished by 2005, bringing with it quite an array of amenities, including dance studios, prop and costume shops, state-of-the-art classrooms, and most notably 3 distinctive theaters: a 200-seat black box studio theater, a 453-seat music and theater hall, and the 1,725-seat concert hall, each beautifully constructed, appointed, and fitting for the caliber of entertainers that would soon grace its stages, including Tony Bennett, Aretha Franklin, Andrea Bocelli, B.B. King, Tom Jones, as well as full-stage Broadway productions, and even our very own local talent who makes it back home every now and again, Williamsburg's own Bruce Hornsby.
It's just the way it is. Some things will never change.
And as the music plays and memories are made night after night and year after year, the Ferguson Center for the Arts has come a long way from its incredible past, and one that continues to shine bright on the inside and the out for one and all that are looking to experience the finest performing arts center here in this community and throughout Hampton Roads. We are proud to feature the very impressive Ferguson Center for the Arts on the campus of Christopher Newport University, and we encourage you to experience for yourself the many great performances and shows that are available to you season after season in the many beautiful theaters throughout this world-class facility. Well, March has been another busy month, so let's take a look at what's been going on right here in the city of Newport News. It's a celebration like no other. Well, what else do you expect when you're turning the ripe old age of 108? As these kids pull out all the stops and get all excited about the love and joy of reading. And to you, it's complete chaos and a scene that no one ever wants to encounter. But to these firefighter medics, it's a chance to prepare for the worst and focus in on training as 2 local fire departments join forces to answer the call in an effort to work as a team and ultimately save lives. It's the seconds that matter the most. Those precious seconds that can mean the difference between life and death. And as those seconds quickly pass you by, it's important to have highly trained individuals who are dedicated in knowing how to respond, react, and rise to the occasion as they work together to make sense of a very chaotic situation. And in an effort to do just that and work together on a more frequent basis, members of the Newport News Fire Department, along with members of the Hampton Fire Department, recently came together for an intense mass casualty exercise that would put their skills and their ability to work together to the ultimate test at the Newport News Fire Training Center in the Lee Hall section of Newport News.
First of all, thank you for everybody's cooperation, especially Hampton. What we're trying to do is get a realistic mass casualty exercise. We work closely together, especially on the interstate. And in the next coming months, we're going to be working even more closely. So what better way than to meet each other and work together in a drill.
Multi-vehicle accident, E64, mile marker 256, involving a school bus, possible extrication.
You know, besides the actual real life, training is the thing that's essential to make us be able to perform to the best of our ability and to make sure that we're doing everything that we can and to be prepared to be ready.
I do have a vehicle on fire, 1 vehicle overturned. Ladder 6 will be assuming I-64 command. All units on scene or arriving. Go to Tactical Channel 10.
Today's scenario is a multi-casual incident involving a school bus and a motor vehicle. Sometimes what happens is you'll get an accident or an incident that happens probably close enough on the border where you need to have both jurisdictions respond. No jurisdiction can handle multi-casual incidents. When you start talking about 15, 20, 30 people, you're going to need more than one jurisdiction to help you to cover that. You know, it could be multiple ambulances, it could be multiple fire engines and ladders. Well, personnel is the main key. Well, when you want to bring all those people together, you want to make sure that everybody's doing the same thing. And the best way to do that is with an incident training like we had today.
I have a firefighter down on scene. Command to medical. Where do you have medical set up? I have 1 black, 3 reds, 4 yellows.
We can make it as pretty close to real as possible. You know, the only thing that you won't see here is actual real blood. And but otherwise, that your heart rate does raise a little bit even when you're practicing and when you're on the scene. So we try to make sure that you're moving just like you normally would on the regular scene. For some of the younger people, some of the newer, it's just like the real thing to them. For some of the older personnel, they've been around a little bit, so they know how to control their heartbeat and how to control their breathing. And that's one of the things that you want to teach your responders is how to control yourself so you can help others.
Hey, did we do a good survey of the surrounding areas to make sure we've accounted for all the patients? There's no out in the woods or anything?
Every time we do one of these, you come away with something, well, I could have done this better, I should have done that better. And then when the real incident comes, you apply that. You don't want to identify those problems on a real call and you just have when somebody's life's in your hands, have it go bad. We want to do the best we can to provide the best service to the citizens.
We have 16 patients. Copy that.
Even though you may have a minor bus accident once a month, you don't get a mass casualty incident like this, but every so often, and you can't just sit back and watch a video and expect to be able to do it. It's that adrenaline rush. There's no excuses for not training, and it's fabulous that they invited us over here and able to do this with us.
Every training opportunity is as much an opportunity to shine, to learn, and to take lessons home, as well as every actual call that we go on. So given the opportunity to train, to play with our toys, and then to work with the different people, gives us an opportunity to shine as well. And if that call comes in right now, I go in with the full confidence of these people around me that responding to the community as well as to each other. If we should encounter some type of issue out there, I have all the confidence in these people in the world that we will mitigate anything that happens.
Scenario is over. Call everybody out, shut down your apparatus, speed up.
So what do you want to be when you grow up? Well, the possibilities are indeed endless. Now, of course, as we all know, jobs aren't as plentiful as they used to be, but they are out there, and area youth from all over the Virginia Peninsula were given a very beneficial head start, thanks to a very unique Youth Career Expo that was recently held in our neighboring city of Hampton, inside the beautiful Hampton Roads Convention Center.
Well, this is a great event. It's a great opportunity for the students in our Peninsula School Divisions as well as the employers. We really want, as a Chamber of Commerce, we'd like to stop the brain drain and also give kids an opportunity to take a look at what is afforded on the peninsula, such as obviously the shipyard comes to mind with hiring 11,000 people in the next 5 years, but also it's education, it's the worlds of finance, it's the world of government service, nonprofit service, military, financial, what have you. And so I think it's a great time for them to come through and talk to people in the business and find out, hey, what does it take? Is this something they might like to further pursue? So it started about 4 years ago through our Leadership of the Institute class that the Chamber sponsors every year. And 3 graduates came together and said, hey, we need to do something like this. And it's growing now to where last year, in concert with the Peninsula Council for the Workforce Development, the Chamber and the Peninsula School Divisions were awarded the Partnership of the Year Award by the Department of Education for the state of Virginia. So we're pretty excited. It's a great event. It's great to see these kids come through and hear all the noise, as well as to see the excitement of the employers and their representatives talking with their future employees.
And then we look at your background, and this is where it's important for you all, is that you may have a Facebook. You want to be careful with your Facebook, what you put on there.
Hello, gentlemen. How y'all doing? I'm Yvonne. Nice to meet you. Are you guys interested in law enforcement?
Yes.
Nice to meet you. Excellent. Good. Are you guys all, majoring in criminal justice?
What are your plans after high school? You should be making plans already. You should be starting to, think about what college you want to go to.
Well, for the student, it's very beneficial because I'm sure this is probably the first opportunity that they've had to discuss something with the business community. So they get to hear firsthand what the business person is looking for, and they're going to be a step ahead of some other youth that are going to be competing for them for that job. So this is the emerging workforce. This is going to be the workers 20 years from now. So it's just a great opportunity to give them the values that I know I need in the business community.
Well, yeah, I was forced to come here, but I did enjoy coming here. I like the different things that I've seen, different things the people talked about, the presenters talked about. I really didn't change my mind about what I wanted to do, but I mean, I appreciate their time and coming out here and explaining to us, you know, different things about finances, about different career opportunities and that kind of thing.
For me, I find it to be very inspirational, very motivational, just to share a little bit about what my testimony, what my history is on, and where I've come from. But also they need that. We need to pour back into our youth today and really give to them some experiences that we had, just so they won't reinvent some of the mistakes, but also know some of the successes that we've had.
You're headed in the right direction.
Right. After they go through that and they have a chance to talk to the business community, we actually bring them in here, and we had 250 business partners who actually sat down with them in a quick 10-minute interview process, basically like you do with you go into an interview. They ask them questions that you would be asked in an interview.
Virginia Tech's not bad. Well, I would definitely put that on once you're finishing, because you've got what, 1 semester left.
It was good because I've never been in a professional interview, just besides working. So it was good to know what to say and how not to be nervous.
Absolutely, and this is really well organized, and it's also very well coordinated. It's the schools working with the Chamber of Commerce, working with the Peninsula Council for Workforce Development, working with local businesses to make this possible for all of our students. There's that preparation that goes into the development and refinement of their resumes. What is professional dress? How do I present myself in an interview? The mock interview gives them that opportunity to practice. What is it going to be like when I sit down for an interview when I am pursuing this career, or even if I'm looking for a part-time job this summer? What are some of the things that I need to know? And getting that immediate feedback from the interviewers is really, it's a very powerful experience for them. Things have changed so drastically and so rapidly, and they're just going to continue to change in the future. So this is a really exciting time for our students to be students, but it's also an exciting time for us as educators to help prepare our students for that amazing world that's waiting for them.
Well, you either love them or hate them. But the fact of the matter is, they're an essential part of life, providing us all that next step on a journey that makes us oh so much wiser and, yes, unfortunately, a whole lot older. But when you celebrate a birthday for the ripe old age of 108 and still have the ability to rhyme in time and encourage kids of all ages to read, there's nothing left to do but celebrate. And celebrate they did, as kids at the Achievable Dream Academy in the southeast community of Newport News put on one enthusiastic display of love and laughter for the beloved Dr. Seuss for Read Across America Day.
Good afternoon, boys and girls and staff members. We are just about ready to get started with our parade to celebrate Dr. Seuss's birthday. So as soon as you hear the music, the Cat in the Hat will get started with our parade. So boys and girls on the second floor, please be ready for a great, great surprise. Thank you.
This is an annual event for us. We are celebrating Dr. Seuss's birthday, and so this year we decided for the kids to have as much fun as possible. So we organized a parade. We wanted the kids to see lots of books by Dr. Seuss, and not just kind of think about reading, but actually having a love for reading. Well, I think that what it shows is that the kids get really excited about small things, just the thought of coming out into the hallway, parading about Dr. Seuss, who many of them know, and some this may have been their first experience, especially for kindergartners. And so it feels great that kids feel happy and excited about school and participating in school activities. The parade is not all. In the auditorium today, what we really wanted to do was to bring all of our primary students, kindergarten, first and second grade, together as one group to show all of them how important reading is, and once again, that reading can be fun.
We've got a lot of students. We want to just kind of get them excited about reading, and they all can connect to Dr. Seuss. It's a very familiar story. So our goal today was just to kind of celebrate reading and encourage them to continue to read, because we feel that it's the cornerstone of all learning.
Do you like green eggs and ham?
So we want kids to really be firm with their reading, and we want them to enjoy it.
And I would eat them in the rain, and in the dark, and on a tree.
In my opinion, I think it has a rhythm or flow to it. And it keeps boys and girls' attention. Those who may not read, those who may not usually listen to a story, it grabs their attention, and it really keeps it and captivates the audience.
I like green eggs and ham.
I would encourage parents to encourage their children to read
every night. The more and more you read, the more you will learn new words, new things, places. You can travel through reading. If you may not get out much, out of your city, out of your state, this will help you see things that you've never seen before. It opens your mind to all the wonderful things that are out there in this world.
It's a crown jewel of Newport News, a world-class facility that has drawn more than 1 million people in under a decade. And when it comes to bringing in some of the biggest names in the world of arts and entertainment right before your very eyes on center stage, the Ferguson Center for the Arts on the campus of Christopher Newport University can definitely deliver, because the future continues to shine bright for the finest performing arts center in Hampton Roads and possibly the state of Virginia.
More than a dozen years ago, President Paul Trimble of CNU had this bold vision to create a performing arts center, and everyone said, he was nuts. And because, there had been no history in this community of being able to support a world-class theater or world-class attractions, and they had done several in the small Old Gaines Theater, and it really wasn't that successful. So, like everything we do around here, we just sort of move forward, we strike that vision, and we commit to it, and we don't look back. And that's what happened with the center, even as far as going out and contracting the firm of I.M. Pei to build really what some people consider one of the most beautiful theaters. I mean, from the colonnade that's sort of the arc like a ship, and then also you see the tower. I mean, because that's the first thing you see off of Warwick Boulevard. When you hit Avenue of the Arts, you see the university, but you also see the Ferguson Center for the Arts, and it's so striking and bold in its appearance, including the tower, which is actually the stairs up to the overhead portion of the stage. It's that glass tower that's lit all the time. And part of the design principle there was that it's really the cultural beacon for the peninsula. And that's one thing, going back to some of the original documents, they talked about how they wanted to be a place that would draw people. And, with having over 1 million people come in these short 7 years, that really has worked for us. But, it's a comfortable space. You come inside and there's a generous lobby in both of our theaters that, it's amazing how many weddings and funerals and bar mitzvahs and that kind of thing that we have here, where people want it because it's an alternative space. It's something different from what everybody else has. Yes, it is the former Ferguson. Most people don't realize that, but we get lots of calls from different alumni groups of Ferguson High School wanting to hold their reunions here. But we have 3 beautiful theaters in this facility. We have a 1,700-seat concert hall. It's a nice, comfortable space. There's plenty of leg room. There's no seat further than about 110 feet from the stage, which is, a good rule of thumb for how far away you want to be. I don't think there's a bad seat. Everywhere you sit, it sounds great. We have the 450-seat Music and Theater Hall. That was the very first hall that we opened with Tony Bennett, and Tony came back later and played our concert hall and was really amazed that we had 2 such perfect sounding theaters. You can literally stand at center stage and whisper, and someone in the back row of the theater can hear you. But the Music and Theater Hall, our music programs use it extensively. It has a full orchestra shell. The theater department does 2 or 3 shows there. We get lots of use from our student groups. And we have in our 200-seat black box theater. It literally is a flexible theater space. There's no permanently defined seating. We do have different platform levels that sink down into a pit that we can change the seating, whether we want it higher or lower, and we can continually change the actor to audience relationship in that space. But in addition to that, though, we have incredible teaching and learning spaces, state-of-the-art classrooms with video and sound. We also have scene shops and costume shops and dance studios. It's literally a 300,000 square foot arts mecca. There's great spaces here. I would say that there's no university in Virginia, and I would even go as far as saying maybe Maryland and North Carolina as well, or even the Mid-Atlantic here, that have the facilities that we have here for our students at CNU. We're really fortunate that we have this facility here in Newport News. We're also still very fortunate that we still receive nice support from the city. And when it's not financial support, it's in-kind support, and it's also that general support also of City Council out there talking about the Ferguson Center and trying to get people to bring their groups here to see shows. This is not about, just CNU and not just about what Bill Biddle wants to see or anything like that. We're here to present performances that people in our community want to see. We want to be a good neighbor. We're a bridge for CNU to the community, so for some people, this is the only interaction they have with CNU, and we hope that's going to be a positive one as well. But we grow and we get better by feedback. give people my private phone line in my office, 594-7687, you know. And if they want to talk to me, people can pick up the phone and talk to me directly. If they have a problem, a concern, a suggestion for a show, that's how we grow, that's how we get better. And anything that we can do for our community, we're going to do it, because we not only want to be the best, we want to be the best for our citizens in this area as well. You know, when you come to a show here, there's really an electricity, and you can sit back and look at our performances because we really offer a something for everyone philosophy, and especially when it's a local favorite, you know, like Bruce Hornsby, who's, yes, he's local, but he's also a national and international star as well.
Lie over there in a bed with the iron rails, like a frightened child in the cold light, so frail. Things are going so well, just rolling along. And just when you think you got it made, it's all gone. Well, when I shine the door, I got something for you. Well, a few good words and a hand to help you get through. May not be much, but now it's all that I can do. Lay down your weary head. Do whatever you gotta do.
You know, we've presented Bruce Hornsby several different ways. The first time we presented him with solo, then we also did him with Ricky Skaggs. And people really like that solo, just Bruce on stage. You know, and that really, when you have a theater that has such great acoustic sound, I've tried to push more and more for things like that.
'Cause I can't make you love me if you don't. You can't make your heart feel something it won't. Here in the dark, these final hours, I will lay down my heart, and I'll feel the power, but you won't. Oh, you won't.
But Ferguson Center truly is a special place. It's a place where friends can meet, friends can gather, and you can have a good time, forget your cares, and just, you know, enjoy the performance.
To the Madeline rain, to the music on the lake, listen to my heart break every time she runs away. Listen to the banjo wind, a sad song drifting low. Listen to the tears as they roll down my face as she turns to go. Listen to the tears as they roll down my face as she turns to go. Listen to the tears as they roll down my face as she turns to go. Thank you, everybody, for coming so much. Appreciate it a lot. Had a great time playing for you. Thanks a lot. Thanks again. Always a pleasure to come here.
Well, that's about all the time we have for you this month. We hope you've enjoyed this edition of Newport News and Review, as we've given you a front row seat to the very impressive Ferguson Center for the Arts on the campus of Christopher Newport University. And as always, on behalf of everyone here at Newport News TV, whether you're watching us on TV or online at nngov.com, Facebook, or YouTube, thanks for watching. And we'll see you here real soon for the April edition of Newport News and Review right here on Newport News Television.